Over the course of the last couple weeks, I've asked some teenagers and some adults and young adults, what are the characteristics from your parents that you hope to carry over, and the characteristics from your parents that you do not want to carry over? We're going to be talking about parenting because it ain't as easy as people think. I'll tell you what. Let me start out by saying that without question, parenting is one of the most difficult things for an adult to do. There's a lot of requirements, and it doesn't start with having a baby. Well, it's obvious that scientifically speaking, it takes a man and a woman to come together intimately to create a baby. Having a baby doesn't make you a parent. There are thousands upon thousands of people every day having babies who are in no way ready to be parents. Just to be clear, being a parent doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a baby. There are a lot of people out there who are childless, who speak into children and help educate them and grow them, love them, nurture them. So I know some of you are saying, well, this really doesn't apply to me. So just to clarify, this whole parenting talk really only is going to benefit people who are parents or have parents. If you're not in one of those two categories, you probably should stop watching right now. If you are, pay attention. This is going to help you in your relationships with other people. Promise. So the real reason for parenting is twofold. First is it's a God-given edict to try and repopulate the earth, to continue life on this planet. And the second is to try to make a better person than the one that is leaving the earth. Meaning to teach your kids to be better people than you were is really the responsibility and the goal of being a good parent.
So do you want a brother or a sister?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I want a brother.
You want a brother? So put that in there.
Why?
Yep. That tastes good. Are you done?
Because I just kill more.
Okay. So you want a brother?
Yeah.
Why do you want a brother?
Because you're the best.
Brothers are the best?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to play with him so you can wrestle with him?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to show him stuff and teach him stuff?
Yeah.
What do you want to show him?
I show him my toys.
What are you going to teach him?
Lessons.
Parenting is really cool in the fact that you're given a blank slate, right? And you have the opportunity to carve in that slate, to paint in that slate, to create a masterpiece in that slate. But the odd thing is that by and large, people tend to look at their parents and become them when it comes to parenting, which is good or bad, depending on the type of parents that they had. And so we've been given this opportunity to teach our kids to be the best and to eliminate the worst. Sometimes we fall short. So when we think of parental figures, obviously we think of our parents. But the truth is that beyond that, there are a number of people who speak into us. Parental figures' greatest responsibility is to teach us truth, to educate us, and not so much teach us what to think, but teach us how to think, to critically observe, to better ourselves so that we can become part of a better community, so that we can love others. We carefully examine what people are based on their character, not by their color, not by the way they look, not by the way they talk, and to learn to love in spite of ourselves. To seek godly wisdom, not man's wisdom.
Dude, these are just gnarly. You guys are so scary. Okay, man, aren't they just cute?
There's a saying that goes, it takes a village to raise a child. And I believe that's accurate. I believe it's accurate only because the direct parental influence that you have between your dad and your mom only offers you a limited amount of wisdom and experience And ideally, you want to get that from a number of different people, because their experience and their wisdom is going to help benefit that child along the way as well. So the everyday group of people that are going to speak into your kids' lives start obviously with their grandparents, their cousins, uncles, and what have you, your direct family. But it expounds in all kinds of different directions. You've got doctors that are going to speak into them about taking care of their physical body. You've got teachers that are going to work on teaching them how to think. You've got pastors that are going to worry about their spiritual maturity and helping them understand who God is and what He says, and how his impact on their life can affect them. You've got coaches that are going to help educate them as far as being good sportsmen, being able to compete and what that looks like. You've got friends' parents, and you've got parents' friends. You know, the people that we hang out with and the people that our kids hang out with are both going to be influences into their lives. Then you've got the social aspect of it. Music, TV, movies, books, web browsing, all of that. And there's more people, obviously, that you could think about and add into that list. So when you think about all the different things that are going to enter your kid's mind, it's very important to preview it and to review it and to make sure that it is what you want your kids to be thinking about and how you want them to be thinking. There are a lot of different forces at work that want to introduce negative ideas and concepts that are contrary to what God's Word says and what is real truth, what is wisdom. A lot of folly out there that is being portrayed as wisdom. So it's important as parents to make sure that we review what they're learning and who it is that's teaching them.
Make no mistake, parents are the first line of defense and the biggest filter as to what enters into kids' minds. We can all look back and see that there are good influences and bad influences on the way that we've thought and the way that we perceived the world. As a parent, it's our responsibility to make sure that the best information is given to our kids in the right way, so that they are raised up to understand truth, to understand what justice is, and to live a life that is honorable and pleasing to the Most High God.
Not all the teenagers and or 20-somethings out there, you know what? Scratch that. To all children who still have living parental figures available to them, two things. Be sure to reach out and ask your parental figures for help, for input, for wisdom and discernment in life's decisions and some of the trickier things. They've got more experience with life, with the failings and the obstacles and the hurdles that they overcame and the ones that tripped them up and caused them to fail. And the other reason is because they love you more than anybody else. Parents want nothing more than to see their children to not only live a happy and useful life, but also to be successful and to be fulfilled in their life. They want to see you happy, but they want to see you honorably living a life. So the reality of it is, not all of us were given great parental figures. Maybe we have one good parental figure and not the other. Maybe we have none. So it's important to understand that sometimes parents aren't your birth parents. Sometimes family isn't blood. But if we look around, God gives us people to help us navigate life, to help us to learn what is right, what's wrong, how to love others, how to be considerate, how to be compassionate, how to handle situations which baffle us, make us scared and worried. God presents those people into our lives, and it's our responsibility to look for them, to seek them out, but also to be willing to hear from them. Because the bad hand that you maybe have been dealt from your parents isn't the end of the story. You don't have to hold on to the victimhood of having not had great parents. You can choose to learn outside of what they've taught you, to understand that maybe they weren't the best and that you can get information and resources outside of them, so that when the time comes, you're ready to be a better parent. And I'm talking to all of us, because if you're 48, 58, 28, 18, there's still a lot that can be learned from those people that are willing to teach us and have lived it and experienced it. Well, if you've made it this far, you're in it for the long haul.
Congratulations. Now we're down to the nitty-gritty. I've got 5 points for parents, 5 points for kids. We're gonna start with the kids because y'all got a shorter attention span. So here we go. Number 1, always show your parents respect and always show them honor. I know that's hard because guess what? They make mistakes too. But it's important for you, not only for your parents, but also for your friends and all those that are watching how you handle yourself, to show your parents respect, even when they're silly, even when they're dumb. Just do it. It's hard, believe me. As an adult who has a mother who's 82, love you, Mom. Sometimes it's difficult, but it's what we're called to do. Number 2, don't expect your parents to be perfect. They made mistakes at your age. They're still making mistakes today. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. They're just people who are trying to be parents and trying to the best of their ability. So give them a little grace and understand that they're going to make mistakes too. Number 3, ask them questions to learn. They've been through life a little bit longer than you have. They have seen some things that work better than others and things that fail every single time. As you're going through life and experiencing all different kind of hurdles, don't be afraid to say, what should I do here? How can I be in a better position through this circumstance or situation? You'll be happy you did because they want to help you avoid stuff too. It's not fun watching your kids hurt. Emulate their good qualities and habits and get rid of their bad ones. It is our nature to become what our parents were. So make it a point to be the good things that your parents are and not the bad things. And that will be a lifelong process because believe me, as you get older, you will start hearing yourself say things that your parents say and doing things that your parents did. It's inevitable. It's nurture. But be conscious about the qualities and the habits that your parents have that you don't want to emulate and get rid of them. Finally, believe them over the world. Okay? The world is after your heart, right? They want your mind to think a certain way and to behave a certain way and to think right and wrong a certain way. Trust your parents. They're not going to lie to you. They don't have any motives behind it. They don't want you buying their product for the rest of your life. Now to the parents. Don't exasperate your kids. Don't wear them out. Okay? You know what that means. Be the example of who you want them to become. Live a life where you want them to emulate who you are. That means owning up to your failures. Disciple your kids, but love them. Show them right from wrong. Show them that there is a consequence for bad actions, but love them in the process. Explain to them what is right and why, and what is wrong and why. If we want them to be discerning and wise, we've got to help them not only discern right from wrong, but understand why things are right and why things are wrong. You might turn to Scripture. It's all right there, every bit of it. And finally, be a parent first and a friend last. It is much more important that we as parents distinguish between what it is to be a parent and what it is to be a friend. You can be their friend once they're out of the house and on their way, but be their parent while they're living under your roof.
Last thing before I sign off. We've got about 18 to 20 years under the same roof with our kids and our kids with our parents. After that, everything changes. Make the most of those opportunities as a parent. Make the most of those opportunities and those moments as a child. Because in the blink of an eye, that young kid that you had becomes a young adult, and then they're out the door. Make every moment count. Love you guys, and I pray that if you got good parents, use them up, take advantage of them, pry their brain for information. And if you weren't blessed with the best parents, or maybe you come from a broken family, or maybe you lost parents early on, find godly people to speak into you and love you like parents should. They are out there and they are more than happy to do it. You know me, Nate Dad here for you. God bless you guys. Take care.